Welcome back to the kitchen. We are making French fries today. Look at this one. So what you want to do is you want to peel your potatoes with a potato peeler or a knife, however you guys do it. I can't do it with a knife. I'll have nothing left, like pretty much like this. Let's say this potato started out big. Look at this, is how my knife one would end up. Anywho, what we're gonna do is peel these up, chop them up. We're gonna put them in some cold water and let them soak for 2 or 3 hours. That gets all the starches out and kind of dries your potato out a little bit per se, so that it'll fry up nice and crispy. We're gonna shoot for McDonald's style fries since we're not eating out these days. All right, we'll be back in a few. Okay guys, we're back. I didn't want to bore you with potato peeling, so we have some potatoes peeled. We rinsed them off. I have a bowl of cold water here that we're going to put them in. I've already cut a few up here. You don't want to be wasteful, so you know we will use these, but you want to try to have some even little pieces. You want to have them all to be uniform, one, because they will cook more evenly. And I'm just going to show you how I do it, just a few. So you want to cut some little slices, not too thick, not too thin. I already cut the edges. We are going to just chop some little French fries size potatoes. We are not eating out these days with this coronavirus. I'm afraid somebody might be sick. I don't know if it's transmitted by food or not, but we're not going to take any chances here. We have food to cook, so we're going to cook it. Just going to cut off these little edges just to try to keep these guys uniform. And cut one more up for you. Those look pretty McDonald-ish. Alright, we are going to put these guys in a cold bath, and we're going to let them soak for 2 or 3 hours or even overnight. Once they've soaked, we will come back and show you the next step. Okay, these guys are soaked up, releasing all the starches, and we are gonna put them in the fridge 2 or 3 hours or overnight. Overnight probably works best, but we'll see what we do, and we'll be back whenever they're ready to come out. We have gotten these out of the refrigerator. We actually kept them overnight. We put a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Now we're just putting them on a clean kitchen towel, and then we are topping it with another clean kitchen towel and getting off all the water as much as we can. So we're just going to let this sit for a few minutes and drain most of that water out, and then we'll get to cooking. Okay, so these are pretty dry. I think they're as dry as we can get them. Let's just wipe our bowl out. We are going to gently put these back in. We're going to try not to break them. We're going to put them back into this bowl, and we're going to use a little potato starch and try to get the most crispy fries we can get. Let's see. Okay, so we are going to use, let's see, just about a tablespoon of potato starch. Let's see how far that gets us and what we think as we're coating these. And if we need to, we can add a little bit more. You don't need a ton. It's not like flouring. It's just a super light little coat. And a little goes a long way with this stuff. It's super fine. I think we'll add a little bit more. Maybe another tablespoon. Maybe a 1/2 tablespoon. What do y'all think? Half a tablespoon will do ya. Okay. Now our oil is getting hot. We want it to get pretty hot, about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we'll toss these babies in. Okay, so we have these all dusted up with the potato starch. Our oil is nice and hot and ready to roll. I'm gonna bring this over here. Be super careful. Use a paper towel or something. Just be really careful that the fire doesn't catch your napkin, because then that wouldn't be good. And in batches, because I don't want to overcrowd the pan, and I don't want it to so we're just gonna put these in, and these we're doing a quick boil. I'm not gonna do all of them because you see how that is super hot. We're gonna cook these for about 3 minutes, and then we're gonna take them out. We want them to be soft and almost cooked. And this is a double cook. So we're not really looking for any color here. We are just looking to cook them a little bit. They're still gonna be super pale, so we're gonna fry those up for about 2 minutes. Okay, so these guys are doing their thing. We're gonna give them another minute or so. It's only been about a minute. Now, I got a little tip for a little secret, which is this beef bouillon. I heard they come in these little cubes. I heard that McDonald's mixes beef bouillon with salt, and that's what they sprinkle on their fries when they're done. So, we're going to give that a try. We're just going to mix the salt with the beef bouillon. And I only did like a quarter of this cube. And I probably won't use it all because it still feels like a lot. Well, I'm just grinding it up just to try to mix it together a little bit. Okay, now let's get back to these fries. I think they're ready to go ahead and come out. We just wanted them in for about 2 to 3 minutes. We're pretty much right at about 2 minutes. Now, making French fries at home is totally a process, which is why most people probably prefer to just go buy them. So we're going to take these guys out. We're going to put them on the same kitchen towel that we use to drain the water. They are going to go back in the freezer for a little bit, for about 30 minutes to cool them off, and then we're going to fry them again. Okay. Now we're gonna get our next batch in. Our oil is pretty hot, so I'm not worried about waiting. We're gonna go ahead and get these guys in. And I can tell that the potato starch really makes a difference. If you don't have potato starch, you can use cornstarch or maybe even a little bit of flour. Okay, so we are going to, these are soft and limpy. That's what you want at this stage. You want them limpy and soft. Try not to break them because they are a little delicate. We still want to drain the oil out of them just like we did the water. And we're going to do that with another kitchen towel on top once these come out. Okay, so we got our second batch out of the oil. And we're just letting them drain here on this kitchen towel just for a little bit. And then we're going to pop these babies in the freezer for about 15 to 30 minutes. See how delicate that is? We want to try not to break them, but it's tough. So just try not to mess with them too much. We're going to pop them in the freezer for about, I'm going to do 20 minutes. My freezer gets pretty cold pretty fast. So let's toss those guys in there. You can, if you want, blot them. I think that most of the oil is already drained down to the bottom one, but let's go ahead and pop them in the freezer, in this stuffed freezer here. All right. All right. We have our pretty cool French fries. I'm gonna just separate them a little bit because they do stick together a little. It's better to use a little bit bigger baking pan, but do with what you got, girl or guy. That's what we do in our kitchen. Right? Right. So, my family doesn't mind me touching everything because they know my hands are clean. My hands are so clean. I've washed my hands so many times. They're so dry. Lotion don't even help. We'll get into that at another time. Okay, so our oil is hot. It's been waiting for these fries. And so have the kids. Okay. Let's go. Okay. So, ow! That was super hot. This is what we're gonna do. Stop. I'm gonna drop these in. And yes, it's nice and hot. Put all these guys in there. My tongue was hot because my oven was on. And it gets really hot over in that area, so just be careful. So I'm gonna do these in batches also. This takes patience, guys. So if you're not patient, I'm not super patient. But we've done all this work and we don't want to ruin it now. All right, now we just cook these guys until they're golden and beautiful. Okay, so these guys are out and they are golden and beautiful, and listen to that. Listen to that crisp. That's what you want, a little crunch. See how crunches, it breaks? Beautiful. Now, I did add a little bit more salt to this mixture because it was pretty moist and wet looking. So we are just going to take our hand and sprinkle a little bit on. Give these guys a toss. And all right, fries are done. They're golden, they're crispy, they're salty, they're delicious. I hope you give them a try. From my kitchen to yours. See you guys next time.